Dreams doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. How true, right? Well, I am Janhavi Panwar, and a very heartiest good afternoon to each and everyone present here. Hello, everybody. All right, so I'd like to thank Jaipura Institute of Management to give me this golden opportunity that I'm standing among you people. So it's really a very nice moment. And to start with, before addressing you guys, let me tell you something about me. Well, now my age is 14 and I'm doing graduation. I'm doing BA from Satyavati College, Delhi University. And I know 8 different accents, which are British, American, RP, Posh, Australian, Scottish, Canadian, and Norfolk. And 2 learning some languages, including French, Japanese. And of course, my all-time favorite, my all-own languages, Hindi and Haryanvi, my most favorite ones. I love them a lot, with all of my heart. And yes, another from which I'm known the Wonder Girl of India, it's English. And moving on again, I do BBC and CNN News anchoring. Recently, I went to BBC World News, and there, I was hired as the BBC News anchor at the age of 14. No, at that time, I was 13. And another thing which I do with inner talent is if you play BBC and CNN both simultaneously, both will having the different accents, both will having the different reports, both will having some of the different news, both for a debate, many of different reporters, and after that, I can repeat them both. And moving on, I do English singing, which I love doing. So these were all of my talents, and now moving on to address you guys. So what I'm actually here for today is to share some of the experiences and to give you some of the points through which, through your determination, you can achieve entire success in your life. I like to start with, I was born in a village named Shahar Malpur, which is 6 kilometers away from a town named Smalka. I was brought in that village, I was born there, and you know what? My family, I wasn't born in a rich class family, or I wasn't born in a poor type class of family, I was born in a middle class family. So there, I loved it a lot. Now, a newborn baby or a kid of just 3 to 4 years doesn't know about the environment at all. So let me tell you, every parent has some dreams towards their child or towards their children. And somebody just voices the scenario of the society, and after that they make their dreams, or someone has their own dreams which they can't fulfill and want their children to fulfill their dreams. And again, now moving on, my parents too watched a dream. My father was a teacher, now he's still a teacher. My mother was a housewife and she's still a housewife. And he took the dream, he was teaching 9th standard, a chapter of Sarojini Naidu. So what he was teaching the children were the students that Sarojini Naidu's age was just 12 and she closed her 10th standard. And she was known as the Nightingale of India just because her English, she made English poems, and that it's only proved through if she had a good English. So my father took the dream from over there, and after that, he didn't want it. Before I was born, he voiced the dreams for me. So as my family, there wasn't something that they wanted a baby boy or a baby girl, anyone could. And yes, it's very proud for me to say that I came, with the grace of God, a baby girl came. I went in the family, and I don't know was there joy or not, but I think there was. And after moving on, my parents were like, now just moving on the work of English. But you know what? To follow every path, there will be challenges coming in your path. If you follow any path, if you follow singing, dancing, your passion, art, anything, your acting, education, so everywhere there are challenges, there are obstacles. And the same was in my case, and the biggest obstacle was environment. Because as I told you guys earlier too, I was born in a village, and the environment over there, and I was born in Haryana, where people use Haryanvi dialect, which I love it. So I was born over there, and now people just used to speak with me like this, like, so people were just used to speaking like this, my old relatives, all the neighbors. So everyone like this, and I just started speaking in Haryanvi. And my parents were like literally exhausted. What they wanted me to become and what I was becoming. I was becoming a typical Haryanvi girl. So now my parents, my dad talked to many of the persons, he talked to the society, and then the people said that if you want your girl to speak a nice English, and if you want your girl to be fluent in English language, so she should take admission in a reputed school. In a reputed school? We can't afford it. My father was like thinking in his mind, we can't afford it. We are from a middle-class family, and how can we afford a reputed school? And what happened next? I took admission in the same school where my father was teaching. But that was a different point, that when I was 3 years of age, I directly took admission to UKG standard. Just because of mom, my mom just taught me everything of nursery and LKG standard at my home. And I was directly promoted to UKG standard. I did that class in full 1 year. When I went to first standard, but you know what, something more happened. On the same path of English, what happened more was, now, I was going in a town school. I love my school with all of my heart, but the teachers were very nice. The management was very nice. But you know what? The students were from the nearby towns and from the nearby villages. They people were again speaking in Haryanvi. And I got the dialect, and after that, I used to talk with my parents in the same Haryanvi dialect. And again, they were irritated, and they taught me to speak in English. So when I went to school, again a point came that I started speaking English, and their students were like, "Ya gani Angrez banegi aagi." So what more happened? I used to get irritated. I never get depressed because I was a kid at that time of this 4 years, and I'm still a kid of 14 years, and I never knew about this depression and stress. But I used to get irritated and anger in all of my mind that why did this irritate me? Why don't I have any friend? So I used to go to my parents. I used to tell them everything, each and everything what happened in the day. So I used to tell them that today's students are like this. So I felt very bad, but they told me that ignore them. They never told me that they guys are bad. They never told me. They are good, but most probably their environment, just due to their somebody like family background or parenting, they are speaking that Haryanvi dialect. So they aren't bad. They are good at their place, and you are good at your place. But just ignore them. So I was like, okay, ignoring them. Okay, it's fine, because I was a kid, though, and I never knew about it. All right, done. But after moving on, what else happened? Again, all of my neighbors, they used to speak in Haryanvi with me, and I barely stayed at my home. When my relatives were used to carry me like, here is Janhavi, here is Janhavi, where is Janhavi? And I was like, okay, here and there. I barely used to stay at my home. My father and my mom had a belief in themselves. They thought that, yes, she is going to do something, but they never thought of something like media and all. Yes, she has to be on the path of Sarojini Naidu. So just believe in yourself. And what else you can do, you know what? I did the first and second class in 1 year. Then I was promoted to third standard. I did that in 1 year again. And after I was in fourth and fifth standard, I did them again in 1 year. I did these classes in 1 year, and after doing it, my age was 6. And what my English was a path of, so what happened was type of when I used to speak with my parents, with my mom and dad, I used to speak in English, and with the other relatives and friends, I used to speak in Haryanvi or Hindi, so that everybody there is a balance. And after doing that, my age was 6 at that time when I was in my 5th standard, in 6.5 approx. And to just improve my English, the main point came here of confidence. Think of it. How can a 6-year-old girl can anchor the stage of her school's annual day? And I did it. At the age of 6, just due to the confidence, build your confidence as much as you can. You know what? I feel very happy to just speak in front of the crowd because being on stage is the best thing in the world to do. You can just share your experiences, you can share your thoughts, you can share your ideas, anything. So that's the best thing to do in this world. And for me, that's the best thing to do. And again, that was a 6.5 years old girl, just kind of confidence, her confidence built, and she did the school's annual day. So there was a name in my school of mine, and everybody knew that yes, there is a girl of 6 years, and I was just like in my school, people were just calling me as the English girl. That was a nice thing. But moving on, when people used to start like, and side by side, I was doing some of my general knowledge. I approximately knew 1,000 questions, and my biggest record was that I used to speak the whole periodic table from 1 to 100 in just 27 seconds. So that time I was approx 7 or 8 years old, and after doing that, now people used to start saying that English anyone can speak. If you just go to some big cities like in Delhi, in some reputed cities, in some posh areas, so there the kids of just 3 to 4 years, they just speak a fluent English. So what's so special in her? But my mom and dad, again, they were thinking big. But you know what? You always have to think big. If you'll think for small, if you'll think for 80% max, so you'll be getting 60%. And if you'll be thinking for 200% max, you'll be getting there 100%. Not 200%, but you'll be getting 100%. So always think big. So they had a big dream in their minds that yes, she has to be on the path of Sarojini Naidu. And you know what? In my real life also, I'm very much inspired by Sarojini Naidu and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Barack Obama. These people are my inspiration. I daily listen to their inspirational speeches, and those are literally amazing. It has changed my life. Now, moving back to the same story where I was approx 7 years and I knew approx 1,000 questions of general knowledge. I mean, not like who is the prime minister of these, but I were like top 10 rivers, top 10 mountains, populated countries, so these type of questions. And now people, when they started saying that, what's special in her? There's nothing special in her. If you just watch the kids of posh areas who are just 3 to 4 years old, they just speak a very fluent English. There's nothing special in her. Again, there was like a feeling in my mom and dad that no, nothing. Then, one time, my father and mom used to carry me to the Red Forts and to India Gate. So, once upon a time, this happened that I was on India Gate, and there I met some of the Britishers and some Americans. So, my father told me to just run away. Let's just go and talk with those people. I used to run, and I talked with all those people. So their accents was a bit different. And I was like, Dad, isn't their accent a bit different? They didn't speak the English one. It's very different. How can I do this? I mean, the way they pronounce, it was becoming very difficult for me to understand. What the hell are they speaking? What's that? So my expressions were a type of this. What's actually that? Now again, moving on, my dad just found out like accent. So at that time when I was just having some of the conversations with the Britishers and the American on the India Gate, so there was a large crowd surrounded by me that just a small girl is talking with the Britishers. And people were like, what, gazing at me? How come is it possible? But yeah, every 3 to 4 years of kid, they are speaking English who are from the posh areas. Again, the same thing happened. But then my mom and dad came to know about those accents. So they just roamed all over the country, they searched the net, they searched on the internet some of the coaching centers for these all learning the British and American accent. We can't find anywhere, nobody. So finally, we reached British Council. We reached over there in the British Council. There I also saw many foreigners, and I was like, Mom, are they also gonna teach me like those foreigners speak? Because I found there's of the foreigners, and they were teaching those small kids. I was very excited about it to learn those accents. But when I went there, so those people were like, she already knows the English, what else we can teach? And I was like, you're written British Council on the board, can you teach the British accent? Why are you up in the center over here? And those guys were like, they're already speaking English, we can just polish it up, but we can't teach you the whole British accent. You know what, the struggle we did, not I did, I don't think I did a bit of struggle. I mean, it's an ocean of struggle, what people do, and I didn't even do a droplet of it. What my father did for me, what my mom did for me, is literally amazing. When I was approx 5 years, I was moved to the town Smalka just for the environment. But again over there, the same thing happened, again same challenge of the environment. Again one more problem relating to this. And what else happened is, when I went there, I was in the same school, and after moving there, Smalka to Panipat. Smalka is a town in a district, Panipat. If you people must have heard about the first battle in Panipat or the second battle in Panipat, so I'm from that district. So Panipat is 20 kilometers far from Smalka. So we found a tuition for my English, for a fluent English, with a teacher, and her name is Rekha Raj Mahajan. And I find her the bestest teacher for me in the world, but she just denied to take me to the admission, because she didn't tell me, but my parents, that I only teach the IELTS student, I only teach the TOEFL students, and those students who are doing graduation or who are doing post-graduation, and my age was only 8 at that time. So my dad was like, please, just once. She'll only sit, she'll only listen, and that's fine. So she was also excited to just teach a small kid, so sit with me. And after going up there, my father used to carry me 20 kilometers far on one road, 40 kilometers daily. And after that, again, many things happened, and I was in my 10th board, and in the first semester, what happened was, I was in my 10 boards, and in the first semester, I got 90%, then again I scored, and overall, I got 90%, and in maths, 100 out of 100. But then again, a challenge happened of the permission. How to take a special permission from the boards that a 10-year-old girl can just clear her 10th standard. This challenge happened. So CBSE didn't give us permission. So we did from the Haryana boards, and I scored 90% at the age of 10. And then I went to some other news channels too, like some of the different news channels, Khabar Abhi Tak, News 24, and many news channels. And I was promoted in many newspapers. So that's the thing I'm telling you when I was 10 years old. So at the age of 11, my birthday falls on 8 November, and I was 11, and I cleared my 10th standard. I was moved to 11th. And after moving to 11th, my age was 11 again, and what else I did, I learned more accents. I learned RP, I learned Posh, because when I was learning those all online classes, so a teacher once told me that if we just find out some of the Cockney accent, or if we find out the RP accent, so they pronounce like that. So I was more curiosity. There was another curiosity that mom, dad, I too have to learn that accent. They was teaching me that accent, RP and Posh, so I don't want to learn it. How come it's possible to learn from me? So they were again just like, more accents, RP and Posh. So they again found out the online classes, and I learned those RP, Posh, Australian, Scottish, Canadian, Norfolk. So till the date, I went to many news channels, and I used to do that BBC News anchoring. But once an experience happened, my age, I was adopted by a school in Gurgaon when I was in 12th standard, and my age was 12. So I was adopted in a school in Gurgaon named Janhavi Public School. And after that, what happened more was the biggest achievement, that I went to a program. I didn't even know that where am I going, because my mom and dad always take me that just sit in the car and just let's rush over there. I never know about the program. So I went over there, and I was sitting like, okay, fine. Then I just noticed on the board that there were many people like you are sitting over here. So we went to Gurgaon in a place named Hippa. That's something like there, it's like IPS and IES program was over there. So there were many police standing over there. My school's management was over there. Director, principal were over there with me. So I asked my dad that, are we on the right place? There are so many policemen standing over here. Are we on the right place? So when we went inside, there were many guys sitting over there. And I found my name on a chair, Janhavi Motivational Speaker. I sat over there, but then I noticed on the side of me, Anand Super 30 motivational speaker. And it was like, Anand Super 30, most of you people must be knowing about him in Bihar. So, and I was like, Anand Super 30, and I gotta meet him. Wow, what a big achievement. And at that time, that was in September. That program was in September. So I was studying in non-medical. So I was excited to just, I wanted to meet him and I wanted to ask for my IAD so that I can clear that test. So when he came, I noticed over there it was written on the sofas, Chief Minister of Haryana, Mr. Manohar Lal Khattar. And I was like, is he coming over here? CM of Haryana is coming over here? And then my school's management told me that the people by whom you're surrounding over here are IAS. And there were approx 150 IAS sitting over there, and that was their training center. So the first name was announced, was mine. Let me please have on the stage Janhavi the Wonder Girl for a motivational speech. So before that, I asked my parent that how can I just motivate them? They are IAS. So they just gave me a little hint that I just say they are the backbone of our country, some dedication and all. So I was fine. I was all set with some hint. I went over there, and after going on the stage, I spoke approx for 15 to 20 minutes, and at last, I got a standing ovation by 150 IAS and IPS, by the media persons, and by the Chief Minister of Haryana, Mr. Manohar Lal Khattar. And Anand uncle from Super 30, he announced on the stage that this girl will be admission in my school without any chance, without any fees. He doesn't take any fees anymore. So without any entrance test, and I'm gonna teach her. I was very excited about it, that wow, what a big achievement is that, great. Now I'm gonna crack my IAD exam. But when I told IAS over there that I wanna become IAS and side by side some BBC News anchoring, so they told me that you are just wasting your time. And I was like, why am I wasting my time? They told me that if you're studying non-medical, I know you will do well when you'll be doing graduation, so you'll be doing from the arts, but just change your stream over here. Even Anand uncle, too, suggested me this. So in September, my stream was changed from non-medical to arts. After changing the stream, I went back to my home in Smalka because my father, it was very difficult for my mom and dad just to travel each weekend to just see me that what I'm doing over there. So it was very difficult for them. So they took me back to my home. I studied over there, and I cleared my 12th. And then I got admission in Delhi University, Satyavati College, North Campus. And my age was, at that time, 13. So when I went for admission, another thing which happened was, the guys were just checking there, 8th November 2003. Is this your real date of birth?